Let's talk about another data type, that is a string. But at first, let me just remove the arrow from here. So if you want to show some names or the alphabets or English words or any other character, then we use the string type. For example, if I declare a variable of type string and then say a name, this is the name of the variable, or maybe I'm just giving a variable name as framework, for example, and say Flutter. So now that I have declared a variable which is named as framework, and inside this variable I have assigned a string, that means a combination of character. Also you can also put a single character. Also you can put a whole word or whole sentence, multiple words. So for all that, we have just one data type, that is string. For example, if you have come from the Java background, you know that in Java programming language, to represent a single character, we have a char type, and to the collection of characters or multiple characters, we have the string type. But in Dart, we have only string type. So inside a string variable, you can actually put single character or multiple character, a word, even a sentence. In the string class, there are also some helper or utility methods to actually parse the string. For example, if I want to know the length of this variable or a string variable, there is a method called length. So framework dot, you see we have a method or getter called length. And if I run this application, you'll see that it is showing the length of this word. That means there are 7 characters. So it is showing 7. If you put a space in between this word, it also counts that space. And if I now run this application, you will see the output is 8. So a blank or a space is also counted as a character. And now let me print this value or the variable along with other string. For example, if I want to print in the console that I love Flutter, so this is the way I can do that. First of all, I need to provide a single quotation inside the print function, and then I would say I love, and then I will print Flutter. But I know that I have already declared a variable which holds the value Flutter. So instead of hard-coded string Flutter over here, I can actually see the output, what I am just wanting, that I love Flutter. But instead of hard-coded string like Flutter inside the single quote, I can actually print the value of this framework. So if I just put framework over here, you will see a weird output, and that is, you'll see that I love framework. But this is because inside the quotation, single quote or double quote, what you actually put will be printed just like that. So inside the quotation, what you write, it will be printed. But I want to print the actual value of framework. To do that, just use this $sign before the variable name. And now if you run this program, you will see that instead of printing the literal framework, the name of the variable, it will actually print the value of this variable. So this is actually called the string interpolation. So let me just write it as a comment. This is called string interpolation. And for example, now if I tell you that I want to show the length of this framework variable, and I want to print it something like that, the length of GTH, the length of framework, then is, now I need to call the length method after this framework reference. But to do that, I have to use the dollar as well, and also you need to use a curly brace over here, and then you have to call framework dot length. So in this case, the output will be, this will be printed just as it is. So the length of, now in this case, the value of this framework variable, and now the length of this framework variable, that means Flutter. Let me just remove the space from here. So if you directly print the value of a variable, then you don't need to provide the curly brace. But if you want to call some properties or method, and then you want to show the output after the execution, that means this is like a statement, and that will be executed, and then the output of this line will be shown. In that case, you need to provide a curly brace, and in this case you don't have to provide a curly brace. So this is also called string interpolation, and you have to remember where to put this curly brace and not. In this way, even in a string or single quote or double quote, we can actually evaluate a calculation by using this $ and curly braces. For example, if I want to calculate or add two values, for example, if I have two variables, for example, let me define two integer variables. So int a equals 10, for example, and int b equals 20. And now I want to show the sum of a and b, and this is the way that I can do that. So print, I should say, the sum of $a and $b is, now you have to put dollar and curly brace and also execute the statement just here. So now the output will be, I think you have guessed right, the output will be the sum of 10 and 20 is 30. So in this case, the value of this variable is directly printed, and in this case, this is like an expression. That's why I put this expression inside a curly brace, and it will be calculated and the result will be printed.